advise anyone? Did you say, we've got a
No, it was so
here.
much more fun keeping it.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, we have with us today somebody who, how many speeches have you done, Mr. Franco? 6 speeches. And today he is doing speech number
7,
which is objective.
Research your topic.
Research your topic, thank you. And the reason I'm doing this is because he didn't give me very much information prior to. So we have to do this interview.
I wanted to challenge you and see how.
And you did. You challenged me well. Thank you. So, your speech here, it says, honestly, emotionally, preserver.
Persevere.
Persevere.
Yeah.
And is that the title?
That is the title.
All right. And the intro is, it's just me looking to get better. So help me welcome Steve Franco.
Welcome. So, the reason why I might have given her very little information is this, being truthful, is a topic that's very challenging to me. When I saw the title, Research Your Topic, for those of you that know me, I'm a pretty go-with-the-flow guy, and I love personal development. So, personal development was the only thing that when this came down the line that I wanted to talk about. That presented a huge challenge because I said, the details of the speech are to back up what you're about to talk about with statistics or data, how you sell people on the voids in your conversation. So, standing before such a well-educated group, how does little old me sell you guys on why personal development is so important? Compound that, and my stress begins to build with the fact that I have to find in a sea of information of personal growth. You can find it everywhere. It's as big as the universe. What little part am I going to pick out and tag to really drive my point home? And that's when it came to me. For me, the pillars, or one of the pillars of personal growth, is honestly, emotionally persevere. Honesty, here's what I know. As your personal growth begins and develops and grows, you will have a profound effect on others. You will be required, whether you know it or not, to step up in leadership. To back that up, the importance of honesty. I found a fact. 2 professors did a 25-year study with 75,000 participants in 6 continents. And it was around the importance of admired leaders. The number 1 characteristic that those underneath leaders desired was honesty. We must be honest in our personal growth. Now, on the flip side, that was a good fact. My mentor, author, motivational speaker, Danny Johnson, says, facts sell, stories tell. What does that mean? That means we need to be emotionally connected to the people. That 2 is better than 1. That when 2 come together in His name, I am there. We must feel it. In order to really grow, you've got to feel it in your gut. You can't just be told facts. So you need to be honest, and you need to be emotionally connected to your growth. Now, perseverance, where does that come in? This is one of the greatest quotes. It's one of the things I've lived my life by. Henry Ford was once interviewed by a kind of, let's call him, irritating reporter. The reporter said to Henry, he said, "What would you do if I took all your money away? Where would you be then?" And Mr. Ford so eloquently stepped back and he said, "Sir, I would have all my money back and then some within 5 years. Why? Because you can take all my money away, but what you can't take from me is the knowledge I got to ascertain that wealth. So, let me tell you a little story about a guy that wasn't honest, about a guy that wasn't really emotional. This guy, come with me if you would. Let's back up. 2008, 2009. On the outside, everything was great. This was a successful businessman. His company was doing about $3 million in business. He lived in his plush 6,200 square foot house on the golf course, mind you. And everything looked good on the surface. But he had a secret. His secret was that all the external wealth he had was a house of cards. And that house of cards was about to fall. Remind yourself of that time frame. It was the collapse of the real estate market. It was the Great Recession, call it a depression. This man wasn't malicious in his intent. He just had too much pride on his plate. He said, I don't want to burden those around me with what's going on. I can work myself through this. So he went about his business and he worked as hard as he could. Well, guess what? Nor he nor most of us realized was that the economy was a lot worse than what we thought. And what happened was, he lost that 6,200 square foot house. He lost 7 rental properties. He lost his business partner. And he also almost lost his 20-year friendship with that person. John Maxwell says, in order for things to change, you must change. That means all of you in this room, if you want change, you must change. That means I must change. That person I just told you about, this guy, right here. Right? And that's hard to come forward. You're some of the fewest people that know the fact that I lost it all. But you know what? It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because I got real honest with those people around myself, especially those nearest and dear to me. I wasn't going to keep secrets from them. I got emotional. I was willing to connect with other people. I didn't have to feel like Atlas anymore. When you're trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's pretty overwhelming. What God has taught me in that experience is that people want to help you. You don't have to do it all. And I got to tell you, I used that Henry Ford quote. That was the thing that got me through. And I can stand here with pride and tell you, I've got all my money back and then some. I lived out exactly what he said within 5 years. But you know what? It's nothing. It's nothing compared to what I got out of the experience. And I would not give that back for anything. I became honest. I will not lie to you. I became emotional. I want to connect with all of you. And I know I can persevere. And for that, I know who I am, I know where I'm headed, and I know what I want out of life. And that is inspirational.